Welcome to Get Offset. My name is Emily, and I've got to say, your cheeks look especially rosy today in a very good way. You just got a good color to you. You look alive. I love to see it. Now, I'm here today because Sweetwater sent me a pair of Waza Air earphones. I don't want to say they're headphones. So these are headphones that wirelessly attach to your guitar via a dongle. I have one right here. I'm gonna actually pull it out now. But once you see it, it's this little dongle. It plugs into, I'll put it over my face, there we go. It plugs into the output jack of your guitar and just magically transmits to these guys. And the idea is, it's just wireless literal headphone amp with built-in effects. And it sounds really, really good. But I was interested in these because a lot of people have asked me about options to use Bluetooth headphones while playing guitar because they don't want the wires. And my answer is that's just kind of impossible because of latency. Latency is the time it takes the signal to reach your instrument to your ears, from your instrument to your ears. And when you have a wired connection, say a cable, like going from something like a Mustang Micro, another headphone amp that plugs into your guitar, into wires, into your ears, it's about 10 milliseconds. Meanwhile, the fastest Bluetooth, as of last time I read about it, was 32 milliseconds. That might not seem like a lot, but it's very, very noticeable. It can be disorienting, and it's just not very fun. So a lot of those devices, they have the ability to send music via Bluetooth to the headphone amp so you can play along with stuff, but the Bluetooth doesn't work. It's a receiver. It's not a transmitter. So this doesn't use Bluetooth. This uses the same kind of technology that you see in wireless systems for guitars, and people have used those without problems in latency since at least the 80s. Because you can see them in Purple Rain. But let's talk a little bit about these. We have these two buttons on the side here. Those have a couple of uses. You can sort through different sounds by pressing one at a time. You can press them both at the same time for this gyro feature. And this is one of my favorite things about this, but I'll get to that later. You have volume right there. So pretty much everything you need just on the side. As far as comfort, I found them very comfortable. I played them in an airport during a 6.5-hour flight delay for like 5 hours. They still had battery. I actually didn't charge them at all during my 10-day trip. I didn't use them every single day, but that's impressive. I think it's supposed to have about 10 hours of battery life. I still have 2 of 3 bars when I checked the app. So let's talk about that gyro feature. I think that's the coolest thing about these. One of the reasons I don't play headphone amps a lot is it just it doesn't really feel like playing guitar. And that's to say, when you play guitar, typically you're playing through an amp, a real one in a room. And if you're used to that, you know, the amp is the sound source. And as you move around the sound source, how you hear it changes. It's a perception thing. And it's very orienting. That's important. I mean, I play with in-ear monitors sometimes. So I play with, like plug-in amps sometimes. But I'm not moving around. I'm not moving my head. I'm just kind of looking at the camera or at the screen, it's not a big deal. But what it's cool is this is really cool to be able to place an amp in a place in the room. As you turn your head, it feels real. When I was in the airport, I kept kind of taking them off because it felt so real. It seemed like there had to be an actual audio source. It played this fun trick on my brain. I was in awe the first time I tried these when I tried them at GearFest. I wasn't expecting that. It was really cool, and actually you can turn that feature off. So how do we change sounds? There are some presets built in, but there is a handy dandy app that I am going to pull up and kind of talk with you about. So I'm going to show you how to pair these to the app because it's a kind of a 2-step process. But yeah, let's get started. So when you open the app, it's going to say disconnected. So just tap on Bluetooth MIDI device, and hopefully you've already paired these to your phone. you connect. There you go. So you hit back, connecting the correct device, hit OK, and they'll tell you if there's a firmware update available. And that's from boss.info. So let's check this out. I really wish I could let you all hear how these sound. Unfortunately, that's just not really possible. But let's look at this little soundscape. So you can have position, set it up to stage, and you can see the guitar and audio position. And that's really cool. And as I turn these, you can see that turn. What I do recommend is when you put these on and turn them on, or set the amp in a space in your room, stare in the same direction for a few seconds. If you immediately change your head, you will notice it can start to drift. But the stiller you are when you put these on, the less likely that is to happen. So you can also set ambience, stage, or studio. I think stage is kind of cool. The level of that. We can go to amp EQ. You select your amp type there. Gain and volume you can control there, as well as some EQ. Next we get into effects, and there are more than you'd think. So for each of these buckets, well, the first two at least, you have one or the other. So you can have a boost or modulation. You can have delay or other effects. Reverb, and it's off right now. You turn it on by kind of moving your thumb up the screen there. And you'll see the green. If I tap that, it changes color. So I have the no delay effects, delay goes up, effects goes up. You can edit these and you can see the associated color. So you can have 3 different things you can kind of tap between. So let's look at boost. We have a natural, overdrive. Just look at all these options. There's so many that you can choose. It makes it a little bit hard to choose. Modulation, also like not quite as many, but still a lot. Set a ring mod, why not? Delay, not as many delays. Effects though, effects has a lot, including some of those modulation settings. We also have chain selects. So you can change how, you can't move things around individually, but you can control the general, I mean, you do have some options there. I'm going to go in, I'm going to skip to tone central. And here is where you can add some patches. So you can look at these diverse tones here. They have their titles, and then underneath are descriptions. So you can just add all of these to your headphones and just go between them there. You also have rock tones. That tells you what they all are. You can try them out and stuff. Next we have a tuner. So this has a tuner you don't have to use the app for. I didn't love using it, to be honest. It's a little slow, but basically you play a note and it will start low and go high. Like it'll go da-da or da-da. And that is supposed to be an indicator. I didn't like using that. I just used the app. There you go. And then we have some system settings, so you can check your headphone battery. Mine's pretty good. You can change the standby setting so your battery doesn't die. And change your cabinet, global EQ, check out the manual. It's a really, really good app. So yeah, listen, I know these are kind of expensive, but these were just such a big lifesaver for me when I was in the airport, and they sound better than I expected. And I didn't expect them to sound bad because I have the Pocket GT and that sounds really good. So these are just phenomenal. I highly recommend them. They're a gift for a guitarist you love very much or yourself. They fit in the pocket of my Traveler guitar. I didn't want to leave this in the guitar, so I just kind of tuck it in there. It's gonna fall out if you wiggle it, but when it's pressed up against the side of the gig bag pocket, it stayed put. Well, thank you again to Sweetwater for sending these to me to try out with the Traveler guitar. Check out that video as well. It's a pretty good one, I think. They're amazing. Congratulations to Boss. It's honestly one of my favorite guitar products. It's not a specific pedal that I've used this year, and that's saying something. It really is. If you're interested in getting it, please consider using the affiliate link in the video description. It's a great way to support the channel, doing something you're probably going to do anyway. Of course, Sweetwater has everything. They have traveler guitars, they have other Boss effects and pedals. So yeah, I love it when people use the affiliate link. It makes me feel happy. Thank you again to Sweetwater. Please like, comment, subscribe. That's my favorite way to support the channel. We also have a Patreon at patreon.com/getoffset. If you're in the Premiere chat, subscribe if you're not. You can drop a super chat if you want, or you can tip me below. No pressure on that. Times are weird. But to everybody out there, thank you for watching. Thanks for understanding. Don't lose that rosy glow. And until next time, my name is Emily. Goodbye.